A little over a year ago today, in October of 2020, UNCSA students, faculty, staff, and alumni collaborated on an innovative Devise Theater production that could be performed and viewed in safety in the midst of a global pandemic. For those of you who don't know what Devise Theater is, it's creating theater as a team from the ground up, starting without a script. The show was called Inheritance, and it wasn't performed in this space or any other traditional kind of theater. It was performed in the rooms in the courtyard of the historic Brookstown Inn, just a few miles from here. Each member of the cast was behind a large window in scenes set up in hotel rooms that face the courtyard, separated from the audience, separated from each other. Microphones directly amplified their voices to the group of 30 or so masked audience members that were able to attend every night. And as I sat among that audience in the courtyard, I realized that I was witnessing an astonishing live performance and a meaningful display of storytelling, creativity, and vision at a time when theaters over the world were shuttered. The UNCSA community found a way, a true testament to our resilience and the remarkable power of the arts to transcend any obstacle. And there have been many other performances since that night, throughout last year, on traditional and non-traditional stages, and little by little, with larger and larger in-person audiences. And I am so pleased to be standing here today in front of this large, live audience. With this year well underway and the return of audiences to live performances at UNCSA, being together is something to celebrate. I think you can all agree with that. And I'm grateful to all of you for being here today, those of you across our campus, and those of you that are joining virtually. Thank you, President Hans, Chair Randy Ramsey, the Board of Governors, and the entire UNC system. Thank you to Chair Ralph Womble and our Board of Trustees here at UNCSA. I want to thank Judge Vickery for being here to swear me in as the 9th Chancellor of UNCSA. I'm fairly sure it's the first time this oath has ever been administered by a Fighting Pickle alumna. Don't think a lot of art schools can claim a judge. I'm pleased to see so many familiar faces in the crowd, especially former Chancellor Bierman and former Provost Nelson and English that are here with us today. I want to express my deep appreciation to my parents, Rob and Lynn Cole, for all they have given me, and to the many incredible mentors that I have had along my path over the years. But first and foremost, I would not be here today without the love and support of my wife, Iris. Who has been a tremendous partner with me in everything that I do. And our 3 children, Elena, Gabriel, and Clara. And thank you to UNCSA's incredible faculty and staff for what you do every day to carry this institution forward, and for putting your trust in me to serve as your chancellor. And last, but certainly not least, thank you to our extraordinary students, and you got to see several of them today already. You are the North Star for this institution, the reason it exists and why we come to work every single day. I stand here today immeasurably honored to be in a position to protect and advance this institution, and inspired to be part of a truly great team with such an important mission. But this day is really not about me. It is a celebration of the truly remarkable, unique, and magical place that is UNCSA. There is no other place like it in the country, with the disciplines of dance, design and production, drama, filmmaking, music, together on one campus, but forming a complete, comprehensive ecosystem of the arts that operates right alongside the arts and entertainment industry, with an experience that consistently develops the next generation of creatives and leaders. Every year, UNCSA is ranked among the very top institutions in our country, and as a public institution, we are able to provide a level of access for young artists that is unmatched by our peers. Virtually every facet of the arts and entertainment industry is happening right here every day on our 78 acres of land, and in a highly collaborative and interconnected way. So I salute the state of North Carolina for 58 years ago having the vision to make this place a reality for our city, for our state, and for young artists across the entire country. That decision not only demonstrated another dimension to the state's commitment to education, it showed a deep understanding for just how critical the arts and creative industries are to our society. Critical. I use that word with the utmost intention. What our students train to do, the work they do, what they create, is a critical part of our economy and our society. I can start just with the numbers, as they tell very clearly one side of the story. A recent report from the National Endowment for the Arts calculated that the value of arts and cultural production in America in 2019, prior to the pandemic, was nearly $920 billion, amounting to 4.3% of gross domestic product. The arts contribute more to the national economy than do construction, transportation, warehousing, and agriculture industries. This data just confirms what I've been saying. The arts play a significant role in our daily lives, including the jobs we create, the products we purchase, and the experiences we share. And when we as a country finally turn the corner on this pandemic, we will see growth and progress in the arts return in that level and prosper. And many of the other industries across the country are evolving in how they view and value the arts. And they are seeing how the power of content and creative practice in the arts can be leveraged to solve any number of problems in the world. I'm excited about the incredible intersections we are seeing between the arts and health sciences, technology, education, so many other areas. This is happening because leaders throughout these industries are realizing that artists are the ultimate creative problem solvers, and that the heart of creative practice in the arts is solving problems that often people can't even conceive yet, or finding an answer to a question that hasn't even been formed yet. Ask Elon Musk, who hired Randy Rees, a design and production alumnus, as the senior engineer for environmental health and safety of SpaceX. Rees said that there are many parallels between the entertainment world and the world that he works in today. He learned how to fix problems under extraordinarily tight deadlines in the entertainment industry. And problem solving, work ethic, and knowing how to relate to and work with many, many people, that all came from School of the Arts. The hyper-disciplined training of artists is centered on developing the vision and skills to create something from nothing, or bring about order from chaos, often taking something abstract and making it understood and connecting it with people. And those skills as creators are highly transferable to all kinds of industries today, and that is so exciting to see. But the very core of the arts and what artists do is storytelling. Storytelling is the essence not only of art making, but of the entire human experience. Storytelling is how we remember the lessons from our past, teach and impact those in our present, and chart a course for the future. And every artist in UNCSA's community is a dedicated storyteller. And there are so many different kinds of storytellers. Some of their stories are clear and direct, and some of their stories are more abstract. Some are stories for the eyes, some are stories for the ears, some engage all of the senses at once. Some stories are created to call us to action, and some are created to give us a momentary escape. But all of those stories are created by artists seeking to touch the heart and the mind in a deeper way, at a core level that only the arts can achieve. And artists have shown us throughout history that they can use those stories, spoken, musical, visual, or all of the above, to change our society, to change the world through the stories they tell. And that is a truly powerful thing. A few minutes ago, I told you that the arts are critical to our society. I would dare say that everyone in the audience today has an even better understanding of the importance of the arts and creative industries after close to 2 years of a global pandemic that has largely kept us all apart in the ways that matter most. It certainly made us realize how we miss the energy and the emotion of live performance experiences. But during the height of that period, particularly when we were shuttered away in our homes, what was it that sustained us? Think back to those months, and I bet that you'll remember that stories are what helped carry you through, that connected you to something bigger outside of your walls, or at times helped you disconnect from the stress and the challenges of COVID-19. Those stories were streamed into your homes at a rate even greater than normal times through the film and TV platforms that you know very well: Netflix, Apple TV, HBO, Prime, Hulu, Disney, and more. And through music services like Apple Music and Spotify and many others. The industry doubled down on digital methods of reaching audiences during these times. And because of this, it's likely that more content in the arts was consumed in the past 18 months than ever before. But here is the really good news story for anyone who knows and loves UNCSA and cares about the UNC system. A truly astounding number of UNCSA alumni from across every one of our conservatories created or led that storytelling. Actors, writers, producers, editors, designers, composers, arrangers, singers, instrumentalists, dancers, choreographers, cinematographers, crew members, casting directors, managers, you name it, and Fighting Pickles did it. Many of them on the stage of the camera, many of them leading from behind the scenes. And you don't have to just take my word for it, because over the past year, an incredible number of them worked on the most watched and popular productions in the industry and have been recognized by major award nominations from the Oscars, the Emmys, the Grammys, the Tonys, and more. I'm talking about productions like Lovecraft Country, This Is Us, Underground Railroad, Oslo, Mayor of Easttown, WandaVision, The Mandalorian, Nomadland, just to name a few. Just this week, alumna Mary Louise Parker won a Tony for her performance in the Broadway show The Sound Inside, the second time in her career that she received the Tony for Best Actress. And if you add up the numbers throughout the arts and entertainment over the past 2 decades on stage and screen, you'll very quickly see the deep impact that UNCSA alumni and faculty are having on the industry, on the local, state, and national economy, and in the daily lives of people throughout the United States and the world. I mean, come on. We have an Avenger. The new Captain America, Anthony Mackie, is a fighting pickle. How many art schools can claim that? The stories that UNCSA alumni create and share are changing our lives for the better in so many ways. And no other university system in the country has an arts flagship like this within it. So many times I've heard people say throughout our city and the state, they've remarked at how UNCSA is a true jewel in the UNC system. And I'm here to tell you that this is not just a perspective, it is fact. It's something proven year after year in the same way that other kinds of institutions objectively demonstrate their great impact on society. They're alumni. Where you see alumni out leading and changing their industry, there you see the worth and the impact of the institution. Whether it's in medicine, sports, education, science, politics, or the arts, that's the proof. And our alumni are showing that UNCSA and the arts is something to celebrate, something to invest in, something to advance. In higher education, we talk a lot about the importance of research and how universities are principal drivers of progress and development in various industries through the research that faculty and students do. What I want everybody to understand is that when we're speaking specifically about the context of the arts and entertainment industry, the innovation and development that is happening at UNCSA is propelling the arts industry the way R1 research institutions accelerate other industries. So the story of UNCSA is one that we can all be immensely proud of. I'm proud of the rich and meaningful history of this school and the incredible diaspora of alumni that we have out there leading and advancing the arts. And as Chancellor, I am committed to honoring our legacy and those that created it by building on that foundation and ensuring that UNCSA is on a path to have an even greater impact on the arts and entertainment industry of tomorrow. That industry has changed dramatically over the past several years, and that evolution will accelerate in the years ahead. It has evolved in how art is created and shared, and the tools that artists use to do it have also evolved exponentially with new technologies. The industry has changed. It's changed in how stories are told, whose stories get to be told in the first place, and who gets to tell those stories. Thankfully, it also continues to evolve in the direction of giving greater access to more people to hear and experience those stories as well. For the sake of today's students and for those that will join UNCSA in future years, we feel compelled to capitalize on the strengths and experiences of yesterday and today, learn from our past, and prepare our young artists for the industry of tomorrow. And we'll prepare those artists for the future by having a strategic plan that has the vision and the insights to help this institution thrive for the next 5 years and beyond. We appropriately named this plan UNCSA Forward. We're sharing this vision today to engage our entire community in the important discussions that will help us finalize this plan by the end of the calendar year. The plan is designed around 5 core strategies representing areas of strengths to reinforce, challenges that we need to meet head-on, and tremendous opportunities to seize. The first core strategy is one that is vital throughout our society, and that is equity, diversity, inclusion, and belonging, or EDIB for short. Throughout the last year, a group of more than 50 people representing groups from all across the campus worked intensively to guide this transformational work and delivered a set of recommendations and a vision statement to our Board of Trustees last April, both of which were unanimously approved. The plan lays out a series of actions that will create great access and resources for historically underrepresented groups, build an infrastructure for EDIB work at our school, create new levels of cultural intelligence within our community, and dramatically increase support and advocacy everywhere is needed by everyone in our community. I think our new EDIB vision statement is what sums it up best. And it reads, at UNCSA, we strive to create a safe environment, one that allows people from all walks of life to thrive. Doing so demands that we commit to an explicit and continual process of identifying and dismantling systems and practices of bias, exclusion, and oppression. Education and art making can be transformational forces for change, and we are working so that change leads towards justice. The second core strategy is health and wellness, specifically outlining that health and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff are important aspects of academic, professional, and personal success, and represent a vital asset within the student life at UNCSA. Careers in the arts require incredible discipline, effort, and grit. And all too often in both the industry and academic settings, success has often been equated with the sacrifice of health and well-being. Late night rehearsals, early morning deadlines, packed schedules that barely leave time for meals and sleep. We have all seen these issues come to an increased focus during the challenges of the pandemic. But in reality, these are issues that have needed to be dealt with in the arts for a long time. The importance of health and wellness has been brought up by arts institutions with much greater frequency in past years, but I don't know if I've ever seen it included as a core part of an institution's strategic plan. And I'm proud to see our community moving in that direction. And I challenge others to do the same. It's that important. And the only way to affect change in this area of the industry is to do it from the ground up. We create a new generation of young artists that demand it. We will seek to create greater workload balance on campus, expand our mental health support infrastructure, and promote a culture of wellness in the work that goes on at UNCSA and in the industries that they are preparing to enter. Our third core strategy is an increased focus on interdisciplinary work in the arts. Direct and meaningful experience with the intersections of different art forms is a critical component in the development of artists for the industry of today and beyond. It's not just a nice to have. It's a must-have for young artists. What we continue to see throughout the industry is that the work that is being created today does not exist in the kind of silos and categories that it has in the past. Highly skilled students of any discipline will have access to another realm of opportunities when they also have direct experience with how their craft intersects with others. And only an arts ecosystem like UNCSA can provide this kind of experience. For example, last year, the schools of dance, filmmaking, design and production, and music collaborated on this reimagined Nutcracker ballet created as an original film. UNCSA is not only well positioned to leverage this interdisciplinarity for our students, it was flat out designed for it. There's a lot of collaborative work happening on our campus, but the reality is that we are just scratching the surface. We will double down on making this a place that catalyzes new ideas and opportunities and also creates the physical and mental space to make them a reality. Opportunities to work on interdisciplinary projects that transcend traditional institutional boundaries will be an enormous complement to our students' learning and prepare them for successful 21st century careers in a way that few other institutions in the country really can. In essence, we want to embrace both our role as a conservatory that hones and develops their craft and our role as a laboratory that makes the space for them to work together with their craft to create what is next. Our fourth core strategy is in maintaining and expanding our relevance to the arts and entertainment industry. That industry is constantly evolving, and it is critical that UNCSA students graduate with the skills, knowledge, and connections they need to ensure a successful transition from school to a creative professional life. And the work we are doing here is closely aligned with the work and opportunities that await them. Our pipeline to the industry has long been a strength of UNCSA, and one that greatly differentiates us from other institutions. But we want to ensure that this will continue to be a strength of the university. UNCSA will continue to enhance its strong ties to the industry and empower our artists to be at the forefront of the arts in their careers. Along the way, we will develop new ways to connect them with those currently leading the arts industries. And we don't have to look very far because our alumni make up such a large part of that group. We'll also continue to create new opportunities for artists to focus their training on emerging areas of the industry, such as immersive entertainment, Devise Theater, animatronics, just to name a few. And we want to further empower our artists to leverage their work for success. One important strategy will be to help equip them with the tools to harness the power of the content and the intellectual property that they create, to make sure that they own that content, not somebody else, and connect them with ways to maximize it and advance their careers. All four of these core strategies are critical for the future of UNCSA and the arts industry. But still, none of them is possible without the final area of our strategic plan, which is ensuring institutional sustainability. Our personnel, enrollment, and financials represent the foundation for UNCSA's sustainability over the long term, to perpetuate our ability to fulfill our mission effectively. And a huge part of this means a focus on investing in our people, addressing substantial challenges that we faced in compensation levels for our faculty and staff, and doing everything possible to create a quality workplace for all of our employees. It also means working to ensure optimum enrollment for the future. We want to increase our focus on strategically growing earned revenue from new partnerships and alliances in the arts. And we want to take actions to reinforce a culture of assessment and data-driven decisions at UNCSA and promote a campus environment that is one of engagement and transparency. So that's a snapshot of the vision for the next 5 years and beyond, and where I hope to lead this extraordinary community. I am excited about this plan and the alignment that I've been feeling on this campus towards these areas of focus. I can't tell you just what a privilege it is to represent this institution and the members of this team. I am humbled by the trust you have put in me. I'm honored to work with such a committed faculty and staff, and I am inspired every single day by the students who make us who we are. And I feel a sense of urgency for the plan we're working to put in place and the many great opportunities that lay ahead for UNCSA. And I believe that a healthy sense of urgency is so important because it means you work with intention and purpose. One of the greatest American artists, the great composer, conductor, and teacher, Leonard Bernstein, famously put it in much more effective terms when he said, "To achieve great things, two things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time." The work ahead for UNCSA is urgent. It's important, it's exciting, and it will be impactful. As your chancellor, I am committed to giving my best every day, serving the people of the UNCSA community, and doing everything in my power to help this institution achieve its mission, training and educating young artists for the industry of tomorrow. Thank you.